Did you know? On average, a senior's home here in the US holds more than 3,000 items that haven't been touched in the last 2 years. And it's not because we're lazy or unwilling to tidy up. It's simply that as the years go by, we tend to hold on to things, thinking, maybe I'll need this someday. But more often than not, that day never comes. So the piles grow bigger, while our time, our energy, and even our peace of mind slowly shrink. One day, you look around and realize the home that was once your safe place now feels heavy, crowded, and harder to breathe in. But here's the good news, something most people never realize. By letting go of just 10 specific items, you can cut nearly half of that hidden clutter and instantly feel twice as light inside. You don't need to declutter your whole house at once. All you need is to start with the right 10 things. And in today's video, you'll learn exactly what those 10 items are. Things smart seniors have already chosen to release. More importantly, you'll discover why such a simple step can transform not just your home, but also your spirit, your daily peace, and even your health. Stay with me until the very end, because item number 9 may be something you've been keeping tucked away for years, yet never truly looked at again. And when you finally do, you might realize it's not just stuff you're holding on to, it's emotions waiting to be set free. So if something touches your heart while you're watching, share it in the comments below. We always read them, we always listen, and here at Senior Rise, we walk this journey with you. 1. Broken electronics, the things never really fixed. Every home has a so-called junk drawer, the place where we put all sorts of odds and ends we don't know where else to keep. And in that drawer, there are almost always a few old electronics that stopped working long ago. A TV remote that no longer responds, an old phone with a cracked screen, or a cassette player that now produces nothing but static. These items are usually kept with a small promise to ourselves, I'll fix it someday. But month after month, year after year, that promise sits quietly in the drawer, while the item never gets fixed. The problem isn't just the clutter, it's that every time you open that drawer, your brain silently registers an unfinished task. Even if it's tiny, the presence of those broken objects makes you feel as if you're still owing yourself something. And when too many of these accumulate in the house, there's no mental space left to truly relax. You feel tired without knowing exactly why. A small study conducted by the American Institute of Environmental Psychology in 2018 showed that people living in spaces filled with broken items or things kept to fix later had stress levels 24% higher than those living in simpler, uncluttered homes. Just because something doesn't work, your mind begins to mirror that same disorder. So, be honest with yourself. If something has been broken for more than 6 months, and you can't even remember why you're keeping it, maybe it's time to let it go. Throwing it away doesn't necessarily mean tossing it in the trash. You can take it to a local electronic recycling center. You can also ask your children or grandchildren to help you sort through it, because some things only require one firm decision, and then you'll never have to think about them again. Have you ever kept a broken electronic item out of guilt? Or because you thought you'd fix it later? Share it with Senior Rise, because chances are you're not the only one who feels that way. 2. Old linens. What you don't deserve to put up with every day. There are things we hold on to not because we need them, but simply because we're used to having them. Like those frayed towels we still use every morning, or the faded rough bed sheets that stay in our closets year after year. Seniors often say, "It still works," But the real question should be, does it make me feel good? When we were younger, it was easier to accept good enough. But after living through more than half a lifetime, the small daily rituals, washing your face, taking a shower, lying down to sleep, should all feel gentle and comforting. They are a quiet form of self-care. You deserve to start your day wrapped in a soft towel and end each evening in clean, smooth, fragrant sheets. If there's a set of linens you'd hesitate to put out for a guest, then maybe you shouldn't be using them for yourself either. You don't need too many. Just keep the ones you truly enjoy, the ones that feel comforting to the touch. Letting go of a few old towels won't make your home feel empty, but it can make each day begin just a little lighter. And sometimes that little bit is enough to change everything. 3. Duplicate documents, the tangle of wills and insurance papers. In the drawers of many seniors, there's something that seems like a safeguard for peace of mind, but often becomes the very source of confusion. Duplicate documents. 2 copies of a will, 3 versions of an insurance policy, 4 Medicare cards, and you're not even sure which one is valid. You keep them all, afraid of losing the real one, wanting to be cautious. But when the moment comes that you need it quickly, you can't find the right one. That's not just an inconvenience, that's a risk. A will with the wrong date, an outdated policy, a paper you thought was for later but ends up causing misunderstanding or even disputes when you're no longer here to explain. You don't need multiple copies. You only need one clear, organized, and easy-to-find set. Important papers deserve to be treated with seriousness, not scattered throughout the house like fragments of old memories. Take one quiet morning to go through everything. Keep the most current version. Discard the outdated ones, and let your loved ones know exactly where you keep them. You'll not only feel lighter, you'll also sleep better, knowing everything has been prepared no matter what happens. 4. Old magazines and newspapers. Yesterday's memories, today's dust. Do you still have a stack of magazines on your coffee table? A pile of old newspapers next to your sofa? Or maybe a cabinet filled with papers collected over the years, kept with the familiar excuse, "I'll read them later." Perhaps inside is a recipe you once thought looked good, an article on health you wanted to share, a short story you imagined yourself reading again on a quiet afternoon. But time passes, and they stay there. Never read again, never used. Only dust settles on their surface, as if time itself is whispering. The past has already gone. The truth is, we don't need to keep everything in order to keep what's meaningful. If there's an article you truly cherish, take a photo of it. But if it's only a "maybe I'll need it one day," chances are you haven't needed it all these months, and you won't. Old newspapers no longer hold value. Outdated magazines don't fit your life anymore. What matters more is this: when you let them go, you create space for something new to enter. A clear coffee table, an uncluttered corner, a lighter feeling when you walk into your living room. Are you still holding on to a stack of papers you already know you'll never read again? 5. Excess furniture, obstacles inside your own home. When we were younger, we arranged our homes for guests, for children to play, for everyone to gather. But as time passes, people leave, yet the furniture stays. And one day, you begin to realize there are too many pieces in the house, pieces no one really uses anymore. How long has that chair in the corner gone without anyone sitting in it? That small table by the hallway, now only piled with bills and scraps of paper, or that low cabinet blocking the way to your balcony. We keep them, thinking it makes the house feel complete. But in reality, every extra piece of furniture is one more thing you have to sidestep, bend around, or squeeze past. They don't just make the home feel cramped, they make moving around more dangerous, especially at night when the lights are dim and your eyes aren't as sharp as they once were. Sometimes, just removing 2 unused pieces of furniture can let you walk through the living room freely without dodging. Simply shifting a table can make a whole room feel brighter. Don't wait until you trip or fall to realize the path should be clear. And don't hold on to items that remain only out of habit. A home doesn't need too many chairs, just enough to sit comfortably while leaving room to take a deep breath and feel at ease. 6. Clothes that no longer fit. The invisible reminders that hurt you every morning. Every morning, you open your closet, and the first thing you see isn't what you want to wear, but all the clothes you can no longer wear. A dress that once fit perfectly, full of memories. An old pair of jeans you used to love. A pricey coat, now either too loose or too tight. We keep them because we feel guilty, because we hope that one day we'll fit into them again, because they once felt like part of who we were. But the truth is, every time you see them, you're not inspired. You're reminded of what you can no longer do. And so each morning begins with a weight on your heart, not because of anything major, but because you're facing pieces that no longer fit the person you are today. You deserve a closet that makes you feel good, not worse. You don't need many, just the clothes that, when you put them on, make you feel like yourself, comfortable, at ease, beautiful, in the way you value today. Are you keeping an item, not because you can wear it, but because you haven't had the courage to let it go? Maybe today is the day to give yourself a new kind of lightness, starting right at your closet door. 7. Expired medications. The hidden danger in your medicine cabinet. In almost every home, there's a medicine cabinet. That's where we store old prescription bottles, supplements bought last year, random blister packs we don't even remember the purpose of, but keep just in case. At first glance, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but the truth is, most of them have been expired for a long time. Medication isn't like household items. Once expired, they don't just lose effectiveness. Some can cause side effects or even make a health condition worse. Even more importantly, they waste your time every time you need the right medicine. You dig through, read labels, hesitate, and sometimes in a rush, you might confuse an old pill with the one you're actually supposed to take. A small act, like checking expiration dates and tossing out expired bottles, can instantly make you feel safer. Set aside a quiet afternoon. Take everything out of your cabinet. Check each bottle, each pack, keep only what you're currently using, and bring the rest to a pharmacy for proper disposal. This isn't just decluttering, it's self-care. And it's how you make sure that every morning when you open your medicine cabinet, you feel clear, calm, and free of clutter. Do you think there might be a few bottles in your cabinet that have been expired for far too long? 8. Duplicate kitchen tools. More is not always better. The kitchen is tied to memories, family meals, warm evenings cooking together. But over the years, it also becomes the place where too many things pile up. How many can openers do you own? How many ladles? How many spatulas? 2, 3, maybe more. We keep them, thinking, what if one day I need it? But the more tools we have, the harder it is to find the one we actually use. A drawer full of utensils, yet every time you cook, you reach for the same old spoon. A cabinet stuffed with pots and pans, yet you still use that one pan you've had for years. Maybe you've experienced this. You're in the middle of cooking but can't find the tongs you need because they're buried under 5 or 6 other tools you never touch. Getting rid of duplicates doesn't make you lacking. On the contrary, it makes the kitchen feel lighter, clearer, and helps you truly enjoy cooking again. Keep the items you love and use often. The rest, you can gift to someone who needs them, or simply let them go. A tidy kitchen doesn't need 3 can openers. It just needs the right tool and someone who feels at ease while cooking. Are you holding on to too many duplicates just because you think more is better? 9. The unopened memory boxes. Forgotten pieces of the past left in the dark, in the basement, in the attic, behind the last cabinet in the living room. There are boxes we know are there, but rarely open. Inside are old photos, certificates, crafts our children made in first grade, birthday cards, and little fragments of a life once lived. We keep it all, thinking we're preserving memories, because we can't bear to throw away what was once part of the family. But as the years go by, those boxes are never reopened. The memories inside, rather than being cherished, just sit in silence, gathering dust, slowly turning into a burden. The issue isn't the objects, it's the emotions tied to them. Some people say, "I can't open that box. If I do, I'll cry." Others admit, "I'm afraid if I look inside, I'll have to face what I've tried to forget." But what happens then? By leaving them untouched, the memories aren't healed, not fully remembered, nor peacefully released. You don't need to keep everything. You can open the boxes, slowly, gently. Choose 5 to 7 items that truly make you smile. Display them. Touch them every day. For the rest, take photos if you want, and then let them go with gratitude. Memories are meant to live with us, not be locked away in boxes, forgotten in the dark. Do you have a box you haven't opened for 5 years, maybe 10? Perhaps today is gentle enough for you to finally begin. 10. Old schoolwork and drawings from your children. When everything is precious, nothing truly stands out. There's another kind of memory, not stored in boxes, but stacked neatly in piles of papers at the bottom of a cabinet. A 3rd grade math test from your son. A crayon drawing that says, "Mum is the best." A Mother's Day card written in shaky handwriting. Even little notes your child once left on the table. "Wait for me to come home for dinner." We keep them because they move us, because they remind us of when our children were small, when they still needed us. But over the years, the piles grow higher, and eventually, we can no longer tell which drawing was from kindergarten, which was just unfinished homework, and which are the truly special treasures. When everything is kept, nothing stands out. We don't have to throw away the memories. We only need to choose carefully, so the most meaningful ones can shine. Pick 3 to 5 items that stop your heart for a moment each time you see them. Frame them. Display them as a way of honoring the years of love that passed. For the rest, you can take photos, keep them in a scrapbook, and tell yourself, "I've kept what matters most." Your children don't expect you to carry the weight of their past. They only hope you live lightly and feel proud of everything you've nurtured throughout your life. Are you holding on to things that even your children themselves have already forgotten? You might be wondering, just 10 items? Can that really make a difference? But the truth is this: sometimes a sense of relief comes not because we cleared the whole house, but because we dared to let go of exactly what needed to be released first. You don't need to do everything in one day. You don't need to become a minimalist. You only need to begin with one decision: to keep living, without being held back by things that no longer serve your life. From the broken remote you never use, to the worn-out towel. from the child's drawing from 30 years ago to the expired bottle of medicine sitting quietly in your cabinet. Every item you release doesn't just give space back to your home, it gives a little more space back to your mind. And then, one morning, you'll wake up, walk down a hallway that feels more open a drawer that's no longer cluttered, and realize you can breathe a little lighter. Not because the house is clean, but because your heart has started to feel organized again. If you're looking for a place to start, choose just 3 of the 10 items from today's video. Only 3. Do it slowly, but do it firmly. And tomorrow, you'll thank yourself. If you're still here, thank you, truly. Not everyone has the patience to stay until the very end. And if you did, perhaps it means you are already ready to make a change, even a small one. Share with Senior Rise in the comments below. Was there one item out of the 10 that surprised you? Because it's sitting in your own home right now? And if you have found this video helpful, hit subscribe and share it with family or friends. Who knows, one small action today may become a gentle reminder for someone else who also longs to live lighter. We'll see you in the next video, where together we'll not only clear our homes, but step by step refresh the spaces we live in and the inner spaces of our hearts. This is Senior Rise, where every small change is cherished and where we believe living lightly after 60 is absolutely possible.